Auzubillahi minash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm your teacher Iqra Ijaz from Adabistan-e-Soophia. Welcome 10th class. I hope you all are fine and in very good mood. In this video, you learn about chapter number 1, article number 1.1. Before going to start a new video, let's take an overview of your book. In this book, there are 7 chapters. Each chapter is very important and these are interlinked with each other. These chapters are problem solving, data types, assignments and input-output devices, control structures, arrays, subprograms and file handling, graphics in basic. The last chapter is Microsoft Word. Keep in mind, students, in 9th class course, you are the user. Like you studied about input devices, output devices, storage devices, and also you learned about Windows, like how to turn on or shut down your computer, how to create a new folder or delete any particular folder. But now you are in 10th class. In 10th class course, you are a programmer or developer that develops different software for the client. So this is a good and important book for you. Let's discuss about marks distribution of your board exam. Your computer paper has 50 marks. There are 5 basic questions. Question number 1 has 10 marks and it has 10 multiple choice question. Question number 2, 3 and 4 has 6 marks. Has 6 short questions and you have to attempt 4 questions from each question. The last question is question number 5. It has 3 long questions and you have to attempt only 2 long questions. Each long question has 8 marks and there is a total of 50 marks. Okay, now let's start our lecture. Problem solving. Problem solving steps, problem identification, specify requirements, and the last one, analyze the problem. Let's discuss what is problem. Problem is the unprocessed data. Problem is the one which has to be executed or processed. For example, if you want to go to your school from home, then this is a problem for you. In this time, the problem is unprocessed. Now there are many solutions of your problem. Means you may go with your driver or father, or you may go with your friend, or you may also go with your bicycle, on your bicycle or any else. You can use any of the mode to go. Then from your home to your school, the solution of your problem is in process. Remember, first the problem is unprocessed. Then the solution of the problem is in process. Then after reaching school, the problem has solved. In the term of computer science, the problem is any particular task that is to be performed on computer. The problem is unprocessed data, and the problem solving is the process of solving complex problems. Problem solving is a skill which can be developed by following a well-organized approach. Problem solving is also a problem solving activity. If you are a good problem solver, you have the potential to become a good programmer. Programmer use the software development method. Remember, students, you have some steps to solve any problem. There are 9 steps in your book. First one is problem identification. Second one, specify requirements. Then analyze the problem. Then design algorithm and draw flowchart. Then write the program, that is also called coding. Then test and debug the program. Implement the program, maintain and update the program. The last one is document the program. You cannot change the order of the problem solving steps. For example, if you want to eat food, then first you will take the plate, then put some food in the plate, then eat it. As you cannot say that first you then took the plate, then put some food in it. Similarly, you cannot analyze the problem as you don't identify the problem. So you have to follow the sequence of problem solving step. Let's see each one separately. First one, problem identification. At this stage, the problem being solved is observed carefully. major areas of concern are identified and irrelevant information is filtered out. For example, suppose we want to make a simple calculator. For the problem of simple calculator, our major concerns are basic arithmetic operations. What are arithmetic operations? Like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. How input should be accepted, how results should be displayed. Irrelevant information are how the sign or 10 are calculated, how is the quadratic equation solved, how are other mathematical operations performed. These all are irrelevant information for this problem, so we shall not bother about these. In this way, by filtering out irrelevant information, we can concentrate on the actual problem. If we do not filter out the irrelevant information, then we do not get our actual solution. Now move on to the next step, that is specify requirements. Most of the user cannot explain their exact software requirements. They are uncertain about what they want to do with the software, so they appear with a vacuum set of requirements in mind, which may lead to a wrong solution. For example, if we do not specify the requirements at this stage, then after completing the project, the client can demand that this color is not according to my choice, as this button should be on right side, not on this side or any else. Therefore, you have to specify user's requirement before starting your project. That may lead to a proper design. This stage demands to make clear the user's requirement so that a proper solution could be suggested. This stage involves the formation of a requirement document. Requirement document is a written document on which we write different requirements of the user, which describes the features of the system is expected to provide, the restrictions under which it must operate, and an abstract description of software which provide a basis for design and implementation. Now the next step is analyze the problem. Analyze the problem means a big problem is divided into sub-problems, then solve each problem separately, and then combine each solution and conclude the solution of the whole problem. Whenever we analyze the problem, then these following questions have to be answered. Remember, this technique is also called top-down design technique or divide and conquer rule. Okay, this is very important step. In this step, we concentrate on sub-problems separately. In this stage, we decompose into sub-problems. Rather than concentrating the bigger problem as a whole, we try to solve each problem separately. This leads to a simple solution, and this is also called top-down design technique or divide and conquer rule. Here some questions that we can ask in the analysis of the problem. These are: how many solutions are there to the given problem? How many solutions? There are several solutions for the problem. Which one is the best solution? We choose the best solution from the several solutions. Can the problem be solved on computer? If is it, then it is very easy. How are input and output? How can the bigger problem is divided into sub-problem? So these all questions are mandatory to analyze the problem in a proper way. Let's take a review of today's lecture. In this lecture, first we have discussed about problem, then problem solving. Problem is the unprocessed data, and problem solving is the process of solving complex problem. There are 9 steps to solve a problem. These are problem identification, specify requirements, analyze the problem, draw flowchart and draw algorithm and flowchart, then write program, that is also coding. Then we test and debug that particular program. Then after debugging, we maintain the program or update the program. Then after all the steps, we document the program. What is problem identification? In problem identification, we filtered out irrelevant information so that we can focus on actual problem. Next, we have discussed specify requirements. Most of the user cannot explain their exact software requirement. So this stage demands to make clear the user's requirement so that a proper solution could be suggested. This stage also involves the formation of a requirement document on which we make a proper sorted list of users' requirement. In the last, we have discussed about the analysis of problem. In this stage, we divide the bigger problem into sub-problem so that we can focus sub-problem rather than concentrating on the bigger problem as a whole. Then we combine the each separate solution. This is called top-down design technique or divide and conquer rule. We'll discuss further step in the next video, inshallah. There are some important board questions. Short questions. Question number 1, define problem solving or define problem solving. Also write its step. First write the definition of problem solving, then write all 9 steps. Second question, why problem identification is necessary. Write the first step of the problem solving steps in this question. Define top down design technique or define divide and conquer rule. Write the topic of analysis of the problem for this answer. The long question, define problem solving and its steps in detail. First write the definition of problem solving, then write the 9 steps and then define each one separately. Thank you so much. Jazakallah.